Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance. I am your host, Bobby Sampson, and joined always with me is the guy who just flew in from Edmonton this morning after watching Monday Night Raw, the man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels. There you are in your turquoise blue, it looks like Monday Night Raw t-shirt. That's unique. It's usually on a black or white background.
They did it for the Oilers colors at the bottom of that Oilers symbol.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the bottom of your shirt. Yeah, wow, so they're working with the NHL a little bit, or the arenas at least.
Yeah, they are trying to tailor to the fans. Smart idea. It's a nice color. So
No doubt, no doubt. So, hey, I'm going to start the show with this. This past weekend, WWE held a house show here in Vancouver at the Pacific Coliseum. I'll tell you what, man, I think they have to be watching. I think they have to understand that Vancouver deserves something bigger now.
you know why they don't do it?
Why?
Because of the insurance on the buildings for Rogers Arena is too high. That's why they don't do the Raws and the pay-per-views there anymore.
Oh, really? I did not
Yeah.
know that.
I've heard that for many years from many different sports commentators over the airwaves, like the local shows, the boring local radio that we have, the sports talk, but they talked about wrestling for about 15 years. And that's why we don't get the big shows because of the insurance. That's why, was your show at the Coliseum?
Yeah, it was at the Coliseum.
That's why they don't go to Rogers Arena. The insurance is too high for those kind of shows. That's the reason.
I could tell you this honestly, right now, they would have sold out GM Place with this.
Oh, for sure. We could sell at WrestleMania at BC Place, no problem.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was just absolutely, I was taken aback, to be fair. I mean, the last house show I went to was a very long time ago, to be fair. I mean, I'll be honest, after going to WrestleMania and Raws and Royal Rumbles and things like that, a house show seems kind of, lackluster. You almost don't want to.
Compared to that.
Compared to that, absolutely. But I'll tell you this, man, they've upped the game, production, everything, all of it. I mean, they tied the city into storylines to really.
Yeah, they've been doing that for a while. I went to a couple house shows a few years ago at the Abbott Arena, and they were pretty good.
Yeah, so I mean, it was great. I mean, the show itself was really fun. I think the best part of it for me was watching Little Miss enjoy it. That was her first house show, her first WWE show.
As I always say, wrestling's for the kids, man. I always say that.
No, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. There were a lot of families there. It was just packed, bro. And the card was fun. It was a fun card. Bianca Belair wasn't there. Lashley wasn't there. Unfortunately, that's who she wanted to see. She was really looking forward to that. But we got Roman Reigns.
That's cool.
Yeah, we got Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles. So I'm guessing that might be a feud that he's going to have after Logan Paul.
Possible, yeah, very possible.
Well, they use house shows to test feuds out, right? To test out matches and whatnot. And I think we kind of saw that kind of building up now with with Sami Zayn fighting AJ Styles there. It's kind of leading up to that now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So they're starting to plant the seeds for that. But yeah, man, I tell you what, the house show was a lot of fun. Arya, Little Miss, she had a blast. It was just clean all the way through, and a lot of the big stars were there. Io Shirai, Dakota Kai were there. They were defending against Alexa Bliss and Asuka, so we got to see them. Finn Balor versus Rey Mysterio. Dominic was there too.
Nice.
So they had a little storyline going on where Damian Priest and Rey Mysterio beat him down backstage earlier in the day, and they weren't sure if he was going to be able to make it up for the match. Riddle, I can't remember who Riddle fought, but he obviously won. No, it was The Miz.
Miz?
I believe he fought The Miz, yeah. And Austin Theory was there too. And yeah, no, all in all, good card, man.
Yeah, they've really stepped their game up the last 5 to 7 years with the house shows. I've seen a few of them in Abbotsford and Vancouver. They've been a lot better than they used to be.
Yeah, so so this was your first Raw.
This is my first Raw, yeah.
So tell us about it, man. What was it like for you?
It's good. I didn't realize they did 2 matches before the show, and then they do another match after the show, which is good. So it's almost a 4 hours when you're there with all the extra match, which is a good bang for your buck, right? The thing about makes WWE so affordable is even, you can get them for $40, $50, right? Where you can't go to UFC or boxing for that. You won't even get through the front doors. So it was good. It was a good experience. I thought it was a solid Raw. The kid liked it. Crowd was into it. I got to boo Kevin Owens finally, even though 95% of the crowd loved the guy. Couple
All the
guys were making fun of Sami Zayn, a couple of drunks in the crowd, take off your shirt, take off your shirt. Kevin Owens is pregnant, guys is drunk being silly,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it was a
yeah.
good experience, man. They do WWE does a great live show.
No, 100%.
It was, I enjoyed it.
So speaking on Kevin Owens, so he came out in Vancouver. He fought Austin Theory.
Yeah, I already came out in Canucks jersey there.
Yeah, he came out in a Canucks jersey, and he went as far as to say that Bruce Boudreau had given it to him. That got the Bruce there it is chants going in the crowd. Apparently, Bruce Boudreau is a huge wrestling fan.
I can see that. They're both the French connection there. I can see that being possible.
Yeah, no, but he's a real big fan. Apparently, he really loves wrestling. Like he's one of the old school guys, bringing it down. And I think a lot of people were expecting him because here on the local airwaves and stuff, people were on the radio and the sports radio again, talking about a potential Bruce Boudreau appearance or something. But with preseason and everything, I think he's kind of tied up. He couldn't really attend. So Kevin Owens came out in a Canucks jersey and he fought in the Canucks jersey. That must have been really hot, man, to be in a jersey all night and fighting.
Well, he's used to wrestling with his shirt on, so it ain't no much difference for him. But yeah, it's a little bit warmer.
Yeah. So he carried on and so Theory, he's something I've heard interesting about Theory here, man. He's getting some heat backstage. I don't know exactly what it is, but that might explain why he seems to be losing a lot right now.
I've been saying that in the last podcast. Triple H is definitely they're definitely knocking down a few pegs since Vinny's not there. Maybe he's not getting along. Maybe he's got a bad attitude. We don't know what they're like behind the scenes. Well, but I can tell you one thing I found very interesting here. You notice how Braun Strowman called in on the phone?
Yeah.
Do you notice how Braun Strowman wasn't at Raw? Do you notice how Braun Strowman won't be at SmackDown in Winnipeg, but he'll be on the Raw in Minnesota?
Because he can't get into the country?
I think he's not vaxxed. I think that's one of the reasons Vinny canned him.
Oh, really? He's not vaxxed, huh?
So I'm not sure if I'm bringing this up. Have you seen yourself Braun Strowman since this pandemic started wrestle in Canada, since we put in the vaccination rules? I haven't.
Well, I mean, he was released before that, right?
No, he was released during it.
No, that's what I mean. So he was released during
the
Thunderdome,
that's what I'm saying. So
right?
people are saying Vinny doesn't know talent. No, I'm just guessing. It could be totally wrong. And if I'm wrong, somebody say it, because I don't know. I'm assuming this. Why would Vinny Mac pay this guy all this money for him to sit at home? If you can't go to Australia and you can't go to Canada, don't forget it. You're gone, dude. So, I mean, when he called into the phone, my son's like, why isn't he here, Dad? And why isn't he going to Winnipeg? And I thought, wait a minute. He's going to Raw in Minnesota to fight Chad Gable. He's probably not vaccinated. He couldn't get in. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe he is. And there's just the way they're playing the show. But to me, it seems like, why would Braun miss this Raw and SmackDown? He's hot right now. And do a cell phone phone. And I thought when he called in the phone, like, no, William, he's going to come in the back and smack Gable. No, he's on the cell phone. I'll see you in Minnesota. It's like weird. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he is. Maybe he has fought in Canada, but I don't believe that he has since the pandemic started.
I couldn't clarify that or.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. So
yeah, I'm not sure, man.
Something I thought I'd bring up. Found it interesting. So that could be one of the reasons why Vinny canned him.
Fair enough.
We're not paying you to sit on the couch. I don't know.
I guess so. I mean, it's a breach of contract or something. I don't know, but I mean, how could they have drawn up a contract that would have said that it was breached if you don't get vaccinated or something?
Well, no, we could just say if you can't make a certain amount of dates, you're fired. You can't go to Australia. You can't go to this country because you're not vaccinated. We'll see you later, right?
Yeah, but I think he was released before they started to go back on the road, or was he released after that?
I'm not quite sure how it all went down, but to me, it seems like he's not vaccinated. That's one of the reasons I don't think he was in the Winnipeg show on Friday in Edmonton.
Because it's been about almost a year and a half, 2 years since he's kind of gone, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly when he went down and stuff, but I'll have to look into it more. But and even if Vince didn't fire him because of that, I don't believe Braun Strowman is vaccinated. It just seems that way because I don't know why he wouldn't be at these Raw or SmackDown right now.
Yeah, no, I'm looking it up right now, man.
But I'm not sure. I'm just speculating. I don't know. It's something that caught my attention.
So he was released June 2nd, 2021.
So there you go, right in the heart of the pandemic.
Right. So with the reason given being budget cuts, did he fight at WrestleMania?
No, he went this one? No,
2021 WrestleMania. Like 2 years ago, the first one in Tampa, when they came back, that they did the 2 nights in Tampa.
I can't remember now, to be honest with you. I don't know, but there's no vaccine rules in Florida. They're open.
Yeah, because I don't think they really started going on the road until July 2021. So he wasn't even on the road with them because that's right. They started going back on the road and Raw started going live again in July. July 18th, I believe it
Yeah,
was.
but if he knows he's not vaccinated in June, he wasn't planning on getting vaccinated, he wouldn't have been allowed to go on
No,
the
no,
road.
no, no. I understand that, but I mean, I hear what you're saying and everything. I
But I don't
don't
know.
know if it would be vaccine related at that point because
Might have played into it.
they were still fighting out at the Thunderdome or whatnot. But I have to say though, the man was making $1 million a year.
Yeah, which is a lot for Braun, I think. I mean,
Right. So if they're talking about budget cuts, that's one you would probably cut.
yeah. And if
Another
you can't
guy,
fly around because you're not vaxxed, why have you?
yeah, no, fair. If
And don't get
that's
me wrong, people, I'm not blaming Braun for not being vaxxed. I'm totally fine with what he does. I'm just saying I don't think he's vaxxed is why you don't see him in the Canadian shows.
okay, well,
And I haven't heard any other podcast bring that up. I just came to my mind when I was there yesterday. So I don't know.
no, I mean, it's something to think about, but I don't
Yeah.
think, to be fair, it might play something now, but I don't think it was an issue when he was released, just based on the date of it and everything.
Yeah, you
right?
could be right.
You
Yeah.
know, I think that was just strictly budget cuts, but yeah, going forward, I don't know how they're gonna play these kind of things out, right? I mean, Bobby Lashley wasn't at the house show, but I don't think he was there only for the fact that Roman was.
Yeah, he was at Raw though. He's on the show after.
Yeah, he was on, but he wasn't even on Raw this week, eh? Which
Yeah, he
is
wasn't on Raw.
interesting.
Edge left, and literally 2 minutes later, after the cameras went off, Bobby Lashley came out to fight Austin Theory.
Yeah, you know, so tell us, man, like so you were there live, so you finally got to see Io Shirai and some of that talent. What was it like?
It was a good show, man. It's one of the better Raws that I've seen, but it's always better when you're live. You're feeling the music, you're feeling the crowd. You don't know who's coming out. Omos came out. Edge surprised everybody. So when you're there, you get more excited than when you're on your couch,
So was MVP with him?
MVP was with him, yeah.
He was, eh? Okay, because I'm hearing reports now that MVP's done with the WWE, like his contract.
No, he was out there at Omos last night.
Okay. Well, I mean, it might have expired after Monday. I don't know, but that's what I'm hearing. So,
it was a good Raw. The crowd was into it. It wasn't quite sold out. Maybe a couple hundred seats left, but 98% sold out. And it was a good crowd.
Right.
That's a beautiful arena. If you guys have never been to Rogers Place in Edmonton, now I know why they say it's the nicest hockey arena in North America. That place is huge. It's beautiful. Kind of reminds me of Allegiant Stadium, the big open concept. Yeah, it's a beautiful arena.
Nice, man. And so let's get into Raw a little bit here if you got some time, my man.
Yeah,
all right, so we open up with this segment with Bailey and her crew. What are they called again? Damage Control. No,
Damage Control. Yes, Damage Control.
So she's out with Damage Control, and Bianca's out with Asuka and Alexa. And they kind of, they do their back and forth. What was that like, man, live?
It was good, man. The crowd was hot for that. As soon as they came out, the whole crowd popped for Bianca and her crew. One thing that I noticed about Alexa kind of standing there is she looks bored with her character.
Oh, she's very bored. There's a lot of talk going around right now, and she's also said herself that she is, in the stages of re-emerging with something new.
You can kind of tell because she's not really going too dark, but she's kind of there.
She's there, but she's not there. She's present, but she isn't present, right? She's got to find her character again. Does she go dark again, or does she go, I don't know, hey, Harley Quinn again? Or does she do something different? But I'm under the impression from what I've read and heard from her, that she's basically changing up her character here at some point. So I mean, I think these guys are probably going to try to go for the tag titles one more time. If they win it, then they're probably extend it a little bit longer, I guess. But if they don't win the tag titles now, I can see them separating or her doing a heel turn or something, and start getting into that character, because she's kind of like that. She's a shell of herself right now.
She is a little Bray there, and the darkness kind of vibe's gone. So I'm not sure which way she's going, but she definitely could see a character change coming.
Yeah. So Bianca, this whole thing ends with Bianca Belair challenging Io Sky, to a match here. And that's what kicks off Raw. But before that, Bailey throws the stipulation in for their title match at Extreme Rules, a ladder match.
That'd be interesting, eh?
That'd be pretty fun, man. But it's kind of cool how Bailey was saying that, you've only done so well because I wasn't here. And it's not often that
you got handed your spot.
Right? You got handed your spot, blah blah blah. I wasn't here, but I mean, touche, man. Great, good on Bianca.
I kind of know that Bailey was what she's kind of implying there without saying it. You know what I mean?
No, I get what you're saying, but the reality of it was that Bailey was there and
No,
got
I
her
know that
ass
was
kicked,
funny when
right?
he
So
said
that was
that.
funny.
Yeah,
So, touche. So, yeah, no, that was a fun
they
match.
got
Did you
45
enjoy
minutes
it?
with that, with the promo, with the segment and the match. They had 45 minutes. They almost had the whole first hour.
So tell me, what happens in the commercial breaks? How does that play out?
They play some vignettes. So they play like a DX thing. They'll play John Cena's
No.
650
During the match.
wishes.
During the match.
Oh, they keep going, but they kind of take it back a little bit.
So how do you guys know that they've gone to commercial or
You can know
something?
they go to commercial because you won't see them on the screen.
Oh, it goes to the logo.
It goes to Raw symbol, and then you won't see them on the screen. And when the cameras go back up, you could tell.
Okay. So basically they just keep going, slow it down a little bit.
They
And
slow it
whatnot.
down, stand around, kind of mock the crowd a bit.
Right. So let's get into match number 2. So before this thing starts off, there's an interview backstage with Rey Mysterio. Guy's looking disheveled. He's playing perfectly into this role. I love the storyline and everything that's kind of coming with this. They're building it right. I think they're building it the right
Yeah.
pace, the right speed. Everything is beautiful. This is going to be an awesome match at Mania if they keep it up the way they're going right now. But unfortunately, tonight he's facing Seth frickin' Rollins. And, Ray comes out, on commentary anyways. Obviously, you didn't have the commentary. They're talking about how Ray's looking, kind of lost and, not sure of himself or what's going on.
I was wondering why Ray was walking slow to the ring, but that makes sense why the commentator said that. Because I was like, he's walking slow.
Yeah,
So-
he's walking slow because he's kind of all disheveled and like,
Yeah.
my son, what am I supposed to do? And, it's like he said in his comments, that's not my son. That's not the boy I raised. And, but he attacked him right away, which is very un-Rey Mysterio-like.
Yeah.
But Seth gets the victory here when Dominic comes down and actually smiles and gives Seth a pat on the back.
Yeah, they pounded it together too. Yeah.
Considering everything those two went through with him in the Thunderdome era.
Yeah, it was a good match, man. The crowd was really into it.
Right? That whole family was involved in that feud with him.
They were.
Right? Oh, speaking of which, I had an idea. So this is one way I could see Ray finally saying, fuck it, I have to kick my son's ass. I think the family's going to have to get involved at some point here as this thing builds.
Maybe the daughter.
Right? The daughter has to come in somehow. Something's going to happen where she confronts him. Again, I'm just playing fantasy booker. Okay?
Yeah.
And this is kind of leading up to maybe after Royal Rumble or somewhere along there. Things are starting to really get out of hand. This is to the point now where Dominic is hitting him with the chair. Because right now they haven't touched.
Yeah.
Right?
You can tell he's getting tempted to do it, but he's not
getting
quite
tempted, but he's stopping himself from doing it, sort of a deal, right? And so the way I kind of see this all playing out, it's kind of like, okay, Aaliyah comes down to the ring to kind of basically, confront him, saying, what are you doing? Enough's enough. And Rhea attacks her.
That could be. You could see have father
Right.
and daughter versus Rhea and
Right.
son. Yeah.
I don't know if he'd play a role in it at WrestleMania, but that would prompt Ray to obviously come out as he stands, as he comes to his daughter's aid, seeing his son standing there laughing in the corner while his sister's getting beaten down.
That'd be cool. I like that idea. Yeah.
Now, if there's ever a reason to fucking beat up your kid, is if he's beating up your daughter.
Maybe they got to bring Chavo Guerrero back.
I don't know what Chavo's up to these days, man.
I don't know where he is either. He's got to be around somewhere.
Well, I know Chavo. The last I heard of Chavo, he was doing work with AEW, obviously, kind of behind the scenes a little bit. I don't know if he's still there or not, but before that, he was the creative director or the creative consultant to the Glow Show on Netflix.
Oh, okay. So he's around. He's involved somehow.
Somewhere. I don't know if he fits into it though, man. I mean, unless you want to start bringing Eddie into it, but I don't think you need Eddie right now.
No.
Right? Eddie doesn't play a role in this in any way. Like, I mean, if anything, Eddie probably get pissed off at Dom for this.
Seth was doing a good job of mocking Eddie there.
Oh no, they always try to do it, man. So yeah, so Seth wins that match. How was the match for you live? What did you
It was
take
awesome.
out
There's
of
a
it?
funny chant going on behind us. You probably couldn't hear on TV. A couple of the kids were saying, "We want Dominic," and all the adults were like, "Nobody wants Dominic," and they're going back and forth. Poor Dominic.
Well,
he's trying, man.
He's gonna get. He's doing good.
Yeah, this is a better role for him.
I think with every passing week, he's growing more and more comfortable in the role. You can tell by his attire. You can tell by the way he's walking, talking. his facial expressions, all of it combined. He's really, you know, he's coming into his own, which is cool. I like it.
I hate to say it because I do love Rey Mysterio, but if it wasn't for Ray, there's no way in hell that guy would he ever be on the main roster. If Ray agreed to sign, probably said they give my kid a chance and I'm out. And I don't blame them for doing that, but does Dominic deserve a shot on the main roster? Probably not. He's doing good now, but I'm talking about when he first started. He wasn't very good.
No, but you know what? I'll say this for Dominic. He came in at the right time to come onto the main roster. There were no crowds, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, in a way, yeah, he got to learn on the job. And I mean, he's been blessed. He's got his father, he's got Edge to work with, you know, and now he's working with probably one of the better technical wrestlers out there in, you know, in Finn Balor. So, I mean, I hope he's riding with them on the road too. He's not riding with his dad or anything.
I hope Rey Mysterio is a lifelong WWE guy, because what they did for you, what Vince did for you to let your kid come on there when he shouldn't even be on there is just like David Flair, same kind of thing. Like, he's better than David, but same kind of idea. It's huge. So he must have lots of respect for WWE because.
Well, I think there's a lot of respect for Dominic or for Rey Mysterio as well.
No,
so I mean, you know, it goes hand in hand, right? I mean, he kind of comes from that last era of guys.
Yeah, and he sells a lot of masks, and the kids love him, right? My kid just bought a Ray mask yesterday, right?
Yeah. No,
tons of kids had those masks on, so
for sure. All right, so next match, Kevin Owens, Johnny Gargano versus the Alpha Academy. A filler match, I guess, kind of. You know, it was okay.
It was better if you were live because the crowd was hot as soon as Kevin Owens and Johnny came out. They were, just because they're Canadian, they were going crazy in the crowd, right? It looked better. It looked better live than it did on TV, I thought.
Yeah, no, I mean, have you watched any of it back on television since you come home, or have you seen anything?
I watched a little bit of it.
Yeah. So, was the crowd louder than the TV projected, or was it?
It was loud in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, as soon as Kevin Owens came out, they went nuts. 95% of you got a couple boos. Some people make fun of him a little bit, but crowd was hot for him overall.
Awesome, man. Yeah. So, I mean, anything stand out in that match for you?
Yeah, during commercial break, Chad Gable does some silly stuff for the crowd, man.
What did he do? Chad is hilarious, man.
Yeah, he's mocking the crowd and goofing around and stuff. And I thought it wasn't a bad match. It's always better when you're live because you're in the moment. You know what I mean?
No.
It's like, 100%. You can watch a concert on DVD, but if you're actually at that concert, it's a lot better, you know?
So you didn't mind not having any commentary?
I didn't mind it at all.
How about Flying Reigns? Was he kind of looking to understand? Was he asking a lot of questions?
No, not really. You know, he's just liking the guys that he likes and cheering and yelling and having fun. So
he was hooping it up, eh?
Pretty much. He loved it.
Nice. All right, yeah. So here I'm looking at Omos beat the shit out of two local enhancement talents. A lot of local talent.
He's huge, show, man. You see this guy in person? Holy cow! TV does not do this man justice. He's a monster, dude.
All right. So from where you were sitting, you're telling me you were kind of facing the walkway from the other side of the ring.
That's exactly
Right by the timekeepers and everything, right?
Yeah, right behind the announcers.
Yeah. Announcer behind you. I think the announcer would be on the other side.
No, they're in front of me. I was on the other side. I was right behind. I could see Corey Graves' back.
Oh, so you could see the back of his head.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're on the hard camera side. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool because all the interview segments and everything are kind of facing in that direction anyways, right?
Yeah. I see how big this guy is. He's huge, dude.
Wow,
His speed, his hands, everything. Like, when they call him a giant, he's a giant. Of course, they exaggerate his height. He's probably not 7'4", 7'5", but he's definitely over 7 feet. Like, these guys you're beating up, their average size dude, they look like kids compared to the guy, you know?
Well, what's MVP? 6'2", 6'3"?
Yeah, he's not a small guy.
No, and that dude dwarfed beside him, right?
Yeah. So it was cool to see it come out, see a giant. Nice to get some big guys out there. I didn't mind that spot.
Yeah. So, hey, we have a debut coming up next. Candice LeRae. Did you know who she was?
No.
Okay, so she's Johnny Gargano's wife.
Oh, is she?
Yeah, and she's actually done really well for herself on the independents and whatnot, but she was in NXT for like 3 to 4 years.
Okay.
With Johnny and Tommaso and all those guys, right? So if you think about it, this whole family has been reunited. This whole faction that was kind of working NXT before Vince took over everything. It was Candice, Johnny, Dexter Loomis, and there's that one girl who's still on NXT. She hasn't come here yet. I can't remember her name. Sorry. And Austin Theory. Ed Theory was a part of that crew too.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. So that's when they were all working there together. So yeah, she's up. She's back. She's back after having her second child. and she beat up Nikki Ash. And Nikki Ash had a lot of fun in Vancouver too, by the way.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
So here's what went down here. So Nikki Ash came out to fight Dana Brooke for the 24/7 title. She won. And then after she won, the referee rolled her up and pinned her. So this lady referee became the first referee to become the 24/7 champion. And later that night, she also became the first referee to first female referee to officiate a universal title match.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it was a fun night for her, man. I can't remember her name. I apologize, but I'll make a note of posting that up later. So yeah, Nikki Ash, not having a great week here, seems like.
Yeah, good for her.
How was the crowd response to Candace coming out?
Well, they didn't mind it, but I'll tell you one thing. I hate to say this. When that match hit, a lot of people are going to get merchandise and going to get drinks and sodas and popcorn.
Well, you're gonna have that one match. Unfortunately, you have that one match that kind of comes
The
out.
crowd, they gave her a good cheer.
Yeah. All right, Sami Zayn, AJ Styles. As we talked about before, he fought Roman Reigns, which is, I think, the feeler match for the next feud for Roman, which probably makes sense. AJ's been out of the picture for a little bit. It's time for him to come back. What do you think of the match?
I thought it was good. Sammy's always entertaining. The crowd was obviously, they were more for AJ Styles, even though Sammy's Canadian. I don't know how much a lot of people knew that he was. I'm not sure.
Oh, no, everybody knows he's Canadian.
You think so?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there's no way of not knowing he's Canadian. I mean, it's.
I was surprised that they weren't cheering for him more. I know he's the heel, but still, I was surprised we wouldn't get a little more love from the local, not local, but from his home country. But it was a good match.
It's kind of funny because AJ against Roman, when Roman came out, like AJ got a paw, right? But the place exploded for Roman Reigns.
They're that good.
Oh, absolutely. Like he walked down and he faced us on our side of the ring. And we were also on hard camera side, our seats. And, he put up both belts and basically the crowd would just go nut fuck for it. And then he'd do it to the other side, whatnot. And then I have a clip. I'm going to try to add this to one of the shows somewhere where he goes, Vancouver, acknowledge me. Crowd just goes crazy for it.
Cool. I like that. He's finally getting some a lot more respect. He deserves it.
Well, here's the funny thing. Roman doesn't do house shows. So him to come to Vancouver. Now, I talked to a friend of mine who was there, and he told me it's because of lax laws on consumption.
I believe it.
Of marijuana products and things like that, right? So, but to fly from Utah to go to Vancouver.
And then I think also they want to give Vancouver something special too. We don't get much here, so
no, we don't. But for him to do that, like I'm just saying, generally, like he's
for sure.
not a house show guy anymore, right? You'd figure he'd show up to Raw in Edmonton over a house show.
Yeah,
that's
cool. They did that.
Yeah, it was really cool. It came out of nowhere, right? I mean, it was just like, oh wow, we're gonna see Roman Reigns. Like, that's insane. Like he didn't have any of the bloodline because two of them can't get in because of their DUIs. And I guess, no wise man and no Solo. He was by himself.
Yeah. That's okay. It's kind of cool to see him by himself for once. Heyman wasn't there.
Heyman wasn't there. No. And it was a clean win. He got him good, right? I mean, it was what it was, but it was back and forth. And you know what? AJ holds his own against him.
Yeah, AJ's a good worker.
I'll say this, man. AJ and Seth are probably those two guys that realistically, convincingly, based on a storyline and whatnot, could beat him.
Could. Another thing that's about AJ Styles that you're saying that he's 45 years old now, so he's getting older. So this might be his last couple runs here.
This is his final run. He's already signed his final contract. He signed it last year. He said, "This is my last contract. After this, he's pretty much done." So
he's still great in the ring, but you could tell he's definitely from what he was. He's slowing down a little bit. But I don't blame the guy. All the injuries and flying around that he does, and everybody slows down with age.
No, 100%. But he still maintains that style.
Oh no, he's still great. But it's just you can see when he walks, he moves. He isn't quite as fast.
No, absolutely not. I mean, Father Time has obviously caught up with him, and technology can only heal you so fast, right?
Exactly.
So I mean, the reality is, he's on the back nine of his career.
Yeah, but him feud with Reigns would be good. It'd be fun. He's a good worker.
Yeah, so I think that I don't know. It could be a fun feud. It could be something that will allow them to separate the titles.
Could be.
Right? Like AJ beats him or something, and he takes the belt and he loses it to Seth or something at Royal Rumble,
Yeah, could
right?
be. They gotta put the belt
I,
up eventually here.
because I keep thinking the only way they're going to take one of the belts off of him, if not both, is that Heyman comes out like, after AJ wins, thinking he's won both belts, and the contract states that you only won the WWE championship,
Yeah,
right? Keep the Universal one on him, and because technically his reign is based on the Universal Championship, not the Heavyweight Championship,
yeah.
right? So
Somebody's got to
that's
get these belts off him eventually. Maybe they'll hold on until WrestleMania and somebody takes him there. I don't know.
well, I mean, the only guy who would take it off of him would be The Rock, and then what do you do with The Rock?
No, you can't have him have both belts.
Right?
Unless he loses the next night on Raw or something. But
I mean, to who then, right? Like, so I mean, because they got to figure it out. I'm sure they are. But
I'll be honest with you, man. And I said this a few times on a podcast. I like The Rock. Don't get me wrong. I know he's a mega life superstar. I get it. I don't really want to see him in the ring again, to be honest with you, because last time he fought John Cena 10 years ago, he could barely move. He was gassed. Don't get me wrong. He's going to bring a lot of eyeballs. He's going to talk great, but that won't be a great match.
You know what? I've seen matches that have been complete shit, but because the crowd was so hot and live, it was still
takes it
fun,
over. Yeah.
right? So I think that's what's going to make it.
If that happens, it
Yeah.
should, but you don't ever know.
I mean, everything has to be aligned, right? I mean, everything is aligned. Technically speaking, the only person
Does
we're waiting to
WWE
hear
not
from-
test for steroids anymore?
I don't think if it's a one-off guest appearance, I don't see why they
Because there's
would.
no way he could pass a drug test. There's no way.
I don't think there's any drug tests. That's why they're entertainment,
Sports entertainment, yeah.
right?
They say they have a strict drug policy. They say
Oh,
that.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do. I'm sure they have a strict policy against cocaine and heroin and meth and crack.
No, I mean against their like drug testing. Yeah. But there's no way they test for steroids like they say.
Bro, I mean, if they had a stringent drug testing policy, with all due respect, Bobby Lashley would have to eat 16 to 20 meals a day to keep that size that he has.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I know, okay, I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty certain I can make an educated guess when I say the guy's still on T-ball
Oh yeah, for sure.
to keep his mass.
I would say maybe not now, but in the Attitude Era for sure. Even now, probably 70 to 8% of wrestlers are on something.
Well, they have to be. I mean, it is what it is. I mean,
like obviously guys like Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they're not on that. But I'm talking about like Bobby Lashley and even Lesnar, those kind of guys,
Lesnar, Lashley. I would even throw Theory into the mix.
John Cena.
Yeah, he shrunk a lot though.
He did, but in the day he was on him. He's eating him like candy.
Yeah, had to be,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, that's why they switched it to entertainment. I mean, okay, granted, the World Wildlife Federation wanted to keep their, they won that case, so that opened the door for Vince to change the name to entertainment. I mean, how can you test for drugs in entertainment?
Exactly. It's like saying movie guys can't do movies because Robert De Niro did Line of Coke or something,
Well, that's the thing, right? Like, I mean, Natural Born Killers, starring Juliet,
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, and all those guys. It was an Oliver Stone film. I highly recommend it. One of the coolest films I've ever seen. Mickey and Mallory Knox. Robert Downey Jr. was in it too. He was a reporter. Dude, these guys did mushrooms and acid filming it.
I didn't know that, but I believe that. Yeah,
Friday,
you say that.
the other Oliver Stone movie, Friday Night Lights. Apparently there was coke and mushroom and acid on that set too.
Speaking of Oliver Stone, he's quite an interesting guy. If you ever get a chance to listen to him on a podcast with his Kennedy assassination theories, you got to listen to it.
Yeah, he did that movie JFK. Have you ever seen it?
I heard him. No, I didn't see it, but I heard him on the Rogan podcast talking about it. He's quite an interesting guy.
No, it was a great movie. If you ever get a chance, he's got Kevin Costner. It's about 3.5 hours long, but I highly recommend. Oh, this is good. In 90s now, 97, 98.
Yeah, he's done a few things on it. I won't check it out, but Kevin Costner's a great actor. So
no, I like him. Outside of Waterworld, I thought he's done pretty good for himself.
Especially his new show he's got on his #1, Yellowstone.
I've not watched it. I know you've implored me to. I just haven't had the time, brother, between wrestling, boxing, and
it's hard.
Everything else that I choose to watch. I have very limited time.
It's only so much time in the day, right?
Yeah, but it is on my list. I really, really want to watch it. After that match, though, it was really cool. Judgment Day comes out trying to recruit AJ. Where do you see this going, man? This could be an interesting thing because you could have the Judgment Day.
And he fingered them there.
He fingered them, but then they beat the shit out of him, beat him down, put the chair on his chest.
I think AJ is going to join him eventually.
But here's what I'm thinking now, right? Because Finn stopped with inches before pounding his chest in with the chair.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
don't know
just-
if you
yeah.
could, like, I don't know if you could hear his comments, if the crowd was.
I
you
couldn't
know,
hear him, no.
Right, so he basically said that, like, I could have stomped you, but I'm your friend. You know, like he's been saying in the other promos backstage.
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah,
everything
yeah,
that
yeah. I
he was
did hear
saying,
that. Now you say that,
right?
yeah.
Like, I'm your friend. That's why I didn't do it, right? Friends look out for each other, blah, blah, blah. So you basically could have the Judgment Day go up against the Bloodline.
Yeah, and before that, they were Finn backstage was saying we change history together. We can do it again. You know, we change wrestling, whatever he said. So there's something going on
If
there.
you think about it, they're two of the original leaders of the Bullet Club.
Maybe we're going to see a Finn and AJ. We won't see Reigns and AJ. Maybe we'll see Finn and AJ go at it, have a big feud going into Mania.
It's kind of interesting how they work though, because you think about it, Balor was, I believe, the first leader of the Bullet Club. Correct me if I'm wrong, listeners, if that's the case. Balor was the first leader, and when he left for WWE, that's when AJ came in, double crossed him to take over the control. When AJ left New Japan to come to WWE, that's when Omega came in, tried to take over. Throwing Cody Rhodes too. There's so many storylines here, man.
Is there Bullet Club even still a thing anymore?
Sorry?
Is
Oh
Bullet
yeah.
Club even still around?
Oh yeah, it's around. It's around. It's still there. Jay White now is current guy, but AEW is doing so much with them with New Japan. You'll see them there for the most part. So Jay White is the guy right now, kind of running the show there.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, how was the crowd for that match? At the end with the Judgment Day and everything.
They're pretty hot for it. But
yeah,
when Edge came out, the place went nuts. Biggest pop of the night.
Yeah.
They went nuts, dude.
Yeah.
What's that?
That was awesome. That was really cool. Damian Priest, Matt Riddle. Thoughts?
It was all right. It was good. It wasn't one of the strongest matches of the night, but it was good. I thought it was good. What do you think of it?
I thought it was okay match. I mean, I didn't realize it was the last match of the night.
Yeah, for TV, yeah.
Yeah, for TV. Because I mean, I'll be honest, when I'm watching Raw, I'm also taking care of, whatever needs to be taken care of around the house. It just comes on at that time. It comes on at dinner time.
Yeah,
right?
5 to 8, yeah.
Right. So I mean, I'm watching it while I'm cooking dinner last night. So a lot of the times I'll go back and rewatch it. But yeah, I thought overall the match was really good. Good back and forth. Good storytelling. Another example of two friends that were really, really tight back in the day, came up together in the show and whatnot from NXT and everything. So it's kind of two good storylines here, man, that they're kind of digging out of here. I mean, I guess after Seth Rollins, that's probably where he's going to go after.
I think so. And even after when Edge came out, after the show went off, even after the Bobby and Lashley dark match, Riddles and Seth Rollins went at it again, chasing each other around the arena, punching each other, security and refs breaking it up.
They're really building that storyline.
They're really building it, man.
All right. So here is the final question I have for you regarding these shows. White Rabbit.
They played a couple that dark, it went dark a couple times during commercial break. I don't know if you guys seen that too.
No, we got it.
Music. You got it too?
Yeah, it was I actually texted you to see if they had played it when you were there. The White Rabbit song, that's a Jefferson Airplane.
Yeah.
So they were playing White Rabbit, and everyone keeps thinking it's Bray Wyatt. Like as soon as it happened, everyone's phones went on, their flashlights or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just it's all kind of leading to Bray. It is truly leading to Bray, but they're throwing a lot of curveballs in there.
Is it almost too predictable if it's Bray? Is it almost too obvious?
Well, I don't know. That's why they're throwing all these different curveballs, right? So there's a QR code apparently that you scan, and it gives you the next clue sort of a deal to where it's going. So last week in San Jose, when they had SmackDown there and they did White Rabbit, the QR code had the coordinates to Rogers Place in Edmonton.
Oh, I didn't know they're doing that.
Right, saying that's where the next clues are.
Oh, cool.
Right? So when they played it in Vancouver, there was no QR code, right? But basically what we got was the song in pretty much in its entirety. And at the end, it just kind of went, how Bray had all the red?
Yeah.
Like everything was red. It just, everything went red.
Okay.
For us here in Vancouver, sort of a deal. And so that's why I was wondering, because the QR code gave new clues. But here's the funny thing. So Aleister Black's theme music, the first couple of lines were used in this clue.
Oh, and he's done with AEW. Interesting.
But here's the interesting thing now. So Tony Khan has now said that no one is released.
Nobody's released.
He's not releasing anyone. He's not granting releases to anybody. So I don't know if that means Alice or Black and Buddy Murphy. 'Cause both
Malachi
of
Black, yeah.
yeah, Malachi Black and Buddy Murphy, like he was the guy with Seth Rollins, remember? During the Thunderdome,
Yeah.
the red hair guy, redhead guy.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So he ended up becoming a part of the House of Black in AEW too, after he got released. And so he basically asked for his release too. Right?
Okay.
So this is a problem AEW has right now. There's a lot of people who want to leave.
They have to sign too many people at one time, and then people get disgruntled. They don't get the spot they want.
Yeah, and nobody wants to be, with all due respect, it gets a lot of eyes, and it's you got to pay your dues. I get it, but a lot of them are ending up like on Dark and stuff, like their YouTube show.
Yeah, that's not getting a lot of eyeballs.
And that I think it is getting eyeballs. I mean, it's still a platform, so
it
people are
is, but it's
watching
not
it.
what they.
But it's not that. Yeah, exactly. You're not getting the 1.2, the 2.3 million that you normally would if you're on Dynamite or Rampage.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe 500,000 if you're on Rampage.
So speaking of that, what's up with CM Punk and the Young Bucks and all these guys? They coming back? No, I haven't heard anything.
Okay, basically all I know is they're all suspended. God knows for how long, what the case is, But I think Tony Khan is trying to be a leader now.
But
it might be a little bit too late with the current roster that he has. I mean, he let the inmates run the show.
Yeah, he needs to get us a couple of authority figures in there and kind of step back a bit and let some guys, take over. Still book the show, be the boss, but let some other guys put the hammer down.
I think this is the problem, man. If you bring in other guys, like I think you would obviously have to, but you're bringing in guys that ran WCW and stuff like that who already failed.
Maybe get some ex talent that he likes, you know what I mean? And the guys that weren't part of WCW, bring in some of those guys and say, hey, this is how it's going to be, listen to this guy or you're gone kind of thing.
But I think the other problem is if he's putting his foot down now after 2 years of letting everybody do what they want. It's hard. You almost literally have to get rid of a lot of your talent because they're not going to play that ball with you.
And here's another thing, though, that I've brought up a couple times. How can anybody take this guy seriously when he's the boss, he's a CEO, and he's wearing hoodies and t-shirts and jeans when you see a guy like Vince and even Triple H in suits? I'm not saying you got to wear the nice custom suits like Vince or Triple H, but put on a blazer, put on a collared shirt.
Yeah, golf shirt even.
Yeah, look the part. I mean, look like a store in the basement. There's nothing wrong with that, but not if running $1 million company.
No, he looks like a fanboy, and when he's sitting at these press conferences with with the talent sitting there, like, I mean, when CM Punk is cutting down your executives, the guys who started the company, and he's sitting right there and he's cowering like a little child. I mean, what is that saying to the rest of the team in the back?
We can do what we want.
He can do whatever he wants. That means we can do whatever we want. I think, honestly, the one saving grace of that company is Chris Jericho.
Yeah, he's over big time, yeah.
Not even over, just even backstage. I know he plays a bigger role than he leads on.
Probably, yeah.
I know he probably, diffused a lot of this himself, personally.
Yeah.
Because he comes from that pedigree of Vince McMahon. If Vince was sitting there beside CM Punk.
Oh, he ripped that mic out of his hand.
Right. For talking like that. Like, you don't
cut the mic, rip the mic, and he'd probably fight him.
Yeah, he'd probably throw the punch there. He would, right there, in front of everybody, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, I feel for AEW in a little bit because, I mean, you said it, man, the anniversary is over. The honeymoon is over,
Where's his dad? His dad needs to step in there and say, hey, son, you need to pull up your pants here and get these guys in line because, it's costing me a lot of money.
I think his dad's got enough problems with the Jaguars and Fulham. So
yeah, well, Jaguars are doing bad so far this year, but I know what you mean. So far.
Well, let's see where they go, man. I mean, it's only 3 games?
3 games in, week 3.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know who they faced or how good the other teams were, but good on them, man. Good on the Jacksonville.
They just beat the Chargers actually, and Herbert.
Oh, okay. Are they good?
Yeah, in their building.
Oh, okay. In San Diego or in LA?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Justin Herbert. Justin Herbert. Johnny Herbert's an F1 racer. Sorry.
Is he? Okay, I'm not sure.
Yeah. No, I know that one for sure. Okay, so Raw goes off the air and you get two dark matches. How are they?
We got one after one out there. We got Lashley versus Theory.
Okay, okay. And did anyone come out after that? Anything?
After that, Seth and Riddle came out again, and they started fighting
In the ring or all around?
outside, all around, running in the
Okay.
back,
Wow, wow.
referees, security breaking them up.
So when the cameras went off and everything, how many people left? How many people stayed?
People are starting to leave once the edge left and the camera kind of went dark. Then all of a sudden you hear Bobby Lashley's music and everybody sat back down.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Now,
okay.
don't get me wrong, the Lashley and Theory match, they were kind of half-assing it, to be honest. They did a couple basic moves. It was a 5-minute match. Theory is funny though because he came out of the ring and started doing push-ups on top of the announce table because Corey Graves guys left. They started doing like push-ups on the table and stuff. It was pretty funny. So,
Crazy, crazy. Flying Reigns, man. Tell me, what was his experience like? What did he
he
tell
loved
you?
it. Yeah, he loved it, right? He loves the who's coming out next. He gets excited for that, the microphone stuff. He enjoyed it. He said his favorite match was Seth versus Ray.
Yeah.
But Ray's one of his favorites. And then he said he also liked Damian versus Matt Riddle a lot. And then he loves Otis. Otis is funny. Some of the backstage stuff he was doing.
I love Otis, man.
Yeah, he's so funny. I mean, dude, honestly, WWE is probably the best bang for your buck for combat sports. I mean, where you can bring the kid for $40, $50. You get a shirt. You can enjoy the 3-4 hour show. I mean,
if you don't mind me asking, based on where you were sitting, how much did you pay for your tickets?
I got them in December, so it was only $70 each. If you were to buy them yesterday, it's about 105, 110.
Yeah, about $70 for where you were. So just to give everyone an idea, he was on the hard camera side, 2 rows past the floor.
That's right.
Right. And there were great seats in the sense that you were high, like far enough back, but close enough that no one's really obstructing your view.
No one's in front of us. Yeah, a little bit of a slope. We could see it perfectly. Put it to you this way. My brother came to the show and he bought his tickets day of, and he wanted to sit by us. It was $105, and he went up in the upper deck, and he got in for $35. Where else can you watch a 4-hour show of the best wrestling in the world for $35? I mean, we got local shows here that charge that. How can you?
Yeah. We paid $30 for our tickets.
Yeah, I mean, WWE keeps
big shout out
friendly.
to Robert Mitchell for the hookup there for the tickets. Thank you, sir. That was amazing. Good to see you, my friend. Hope to talk to you soon. And yeah. All right, man. So here, tell you what, let's wrap this puppy up. It's time to go. We talked a lot about Raw and the house show and things in between. We didn't really touch on any of the news stories this week, but really nothing's kind of popping in my head right now.
People on the live wrestling shows, we got to get on it. But I got to say, man, like, I was happy. Raw was awesome. It's always better when you're live, like going to a concert. It's not the same watching on TV than being there. The music, the crowd, the adrenaline, you feed off it.
No, 100%. I'm glad you had a really good time. How was Edmonton?
It was good. Actually, the weather was 21 to 23 degrees when the water slides when the Galaxy ran. I seen my Oilers play the night before.
Oh, exhibition game?
There's all the backups and young guys, but
still,
again, $30 to go in upper deck, but still.
Right on, man. And West Edmonton Mall, is it the Hype? Or I haven't been there since I was 12, so I don't know what it's.
It's the Hype, especially if you're a kid. This is his first time being there since he's 1. So he walked in there like, you want to go to Galaxy Land or Water Park? Went to Galaxy Land on Saturday, and then Monday before Raw, my brother went to the water slides. But it's all the hype, man. It's a fun place for kids. You see the pirate ship. There's a skating rink in the middle of the mall. You go skating with your kids. So
the mall full of shops, or a lot of them closed down, or how?
Oh no, every shop was open, man.
Yeah, okay. So
it's like a place called Bourbon Street Restaurants. Boston Pizza and all these kind of restaurants. Casino in there.
Oh wow,
Oh, it's huge. It's a cool place for the kids. The kids love it.
Sorry, did you stay at the mall too? That kind of. I believe there's a hotel. Okay.
I stayed right by Rogers Arena the days in, like a 5-minute walk, because I knew I was going to the Oilers game in Raw.
Okay. How did you enjoy the Oilers game?
What's that?
Did you enjoy the Oilers game?
He did, yeah. They won 4-0. He wanted to see McDavid guys, but they weren't there.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But you know what? Right? You'll probably get him here in Vancouver.
But amazing building though. Beautiful.
Yeah, building. Awesome, man. Awesome. All right, brother, man. So you've just got back into town. I really appreciate you taking the time out to kind of hit on this. Guys, just to let you guys know, October 15th, All-Star Wrestling makes its return here in Vancouver. I can't say anything, but I'm going to tell you, you got to be there.
Oh, right? We will be there.
Yeah, we'll be there for sure. But I'm telling everyone that's in Vancouver listening to the show, I highly, highly recommend you guys being there. There's going to be a ton of surprises. So, I guess I can say this much. The Bollywood boys are going to be there.
Oh, sweet.
Former WWE tag team champions, the lackeys of Jinder Mahal.
Out of
I
all
guess
the
you could
indie,
say.
all the indie shows I've seen, and all the guys I've seen come out, they're probably top 3 or 4 most over guys that I've seen from as far as the crowd getting a cheer out of them. A pop.
Yeah, him and the most recently, I would say Thunder from Jalander. That guy has the crowd eating out of the
Yeah, he's a
palm of
great
his hand,
entertainer. Yeah.
right? So he's going to be there as well. Obviously, Jace Darcy, Calamity Kate, they're all going to be there. All your champions will be there. The Bollywood boys will be fighting Team America. What are they called again, bro? I forget their name.
Yeah, Azim and his partner. Yeah, I think it's Team America.
Yeah, Team America for the vacant All-Star Wrestling Tag Team titles. So make sure you got to come out. I'm telling you. I've been talking to the guys.
It's a good show for the kids too.
And you know what? It's family fun. It's geared to the family, so it's kid friendly, lots of fun. A great way to spend a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Come and check it out. I'll probably bring Little Miss Miss with me just to see her reaction after seeing a WWE show, how she reacts to a local show again. And I'm kind of curious to see what that feels like for her. She loved the WWE, but I did ask her, did she like the local stuff? She goes, she likes the local stuff because she could meet
it's more intimate.
Her favorite.
You can touch the ring, you can stand by the ring and stuff.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So it's kind of cool from that perspective.
Yeah.
Both have value. It was an amazing night. It's going to be an amazing night. Also, guys, October 23rd at the Rio Theater, Death Rumble, a wrestling horror suspense type comedy film, is going to be premiering that night, directed by a good friend of ours, Rusty Nixon, good friend of the show, Scotty Mack. He's one of the stars in it. So we'll fill you up on more details on that as we get close to that. Samp&Chance, I'm hoping to be there.
I'll be there.
To do a live show there. Maybe we'll do something live that day. Just
Rusty and Scotty are friends and they're supporters of the show. How could we not be there?
Absolutely. Also, guys, with all that, it's been beautiful. Thank you so much. This is a great way to start the week. So, guys, thank you for everything. Like and subscribe. I forgot to say that because I was so excited at the beginning of the show. But all of it being said and done, you know what? It's Wednesday tomorrow. We're almost there. The weekend is quickly fast upon us. Some of us have Friday off. It's a stat holiday for some of us.
I'll be in your former hometown that day.
Fantastic, man. Maybe we'll figure something out. We can get together. All right. My name is Bobby Sampson, and I am joined with the man with the master plan, Mr. Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, subscribe, and share the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you. And in the words of the infamous Ed Whalen, in the meantime and in between time, that's it for Samp&Chance. Everyone, have a great rest of your week. Be safe, and we'll talk to you soon.